If you grew up thinking you were too sensitive, too emotional, or maybe never good enough, there's a chance you weren't the problem. Today, we're going to talk about the covert narcissist family dynamics. It's not about the family you chose. It's about the family you were born in. A child is born into a family. They look up to their mom and dad. They look for safety. They look for guidance. They look for nurture. And above all, they will try to make that parent proud of them. But in a narcissistic family dynamic, it's not the case. Children don't question their parents, they question themselves. It's hard to talk about the family dynamics because of what the parent does to the children. The narcissist doesn't change just because they have children. In fact, it gets even worse. The covert narcissist in their family dynamic, they are the monarch, the patriarch, the big kahuna, the king of the world, and they're the ones that's running the family. Their rules is what's going to go on in that family, regardless if it's reasonable or not. The narcissist, especially a covert narcissist, a lot of times they don't want to be bothered with the children, and the children learn that the home is quiet and that they have to go in their room after school and do homework and not come out till dinner. You'll find that. Sometimes the narcissistic parent will make them do all the housework, cleaning, and cooking too when they get old enough. They simply look at them as objects to help them out. The children learn that secrets are necessary. The spouse of a narcissist is usually an enabler and a peacekeeper. They're the ones that turn the blind eye against abuse because they don't want to be abused. And above all, never try to upset the narcissist. So they tell them, please, that didn't happen. Don't tell your parent, your mom, your dad. And so they learn secrets are a way of life. And they also learn that they can't tell anybody what the narcissistic parent is doing, because above all, the outside world has to make sure that their family looks like the best family. To a covert narcissist, everything is to them of what the outside world thinks of that person. That's their mask. They absolutely will take the narcissistic family and turn it into their mask, their front of what's really going on. They will post pictures on Facebook, trips, things that they do, or gifts that they bought their children, and make it look like everybody's wonderful. So to the outside world, it does look wonderful. And they're normally shocked if they ever find out what really goes on behind those closed doors. The narcissist rewrites the rules constantly. They never said a promise. I didn't say that. You're imagining things. And then the biggie, you've always been difficult. When there's any kind of conflict from a child to the parent, you're just difficult and they get punished. The children learn that the punishment is harsh. They learn that to be in compliance, no matter how stupid it is. Those rules change constantly and the child can't keep up, and therefore they look at themselves like they've done something wrong constantly. They strive to do well in school. They may even get an award, and yet the parent is never really proud of them. They've always been able to do better. But on the same token, to the outside world, they'll beef them up. They're so proud of their son or daughter. But they aren't. They live through their children constantly. A lot of times the children will be left home alone, and the narcissist just simply disappears for a while just to come back. And so some children create the abandonment issues because the parent just left. Or they'll give them a silent treatment. And not only will the narcissist give them a silent treatment, but the whole family will. Because it's almost like a cult-like. Some are cult-like structures in their family. Not all of them, but most of them are. And because of that, for everybody to get kudos from the head honcho, the big kahuna, the narcissists, they tend to create this family that of approval, that they need to seek approval to the narcissist, so they all join in. There is a scapegoat that takes the brunt of everything that goes on in the family. And it's not just from the narcissist, it's from the whole family. There's all kinds of roles that they play, and sometimes they take them just to get away from the abuse, like the hidden child or the invisible child. They try to get away from the abuse. It's their coping mechanism. But others are just appointed to them, like the scapegoat or the golden child or the hero child. There's several roles that can be taken into that narcissistic family, and some will take on several roles. What it does to the children, they learn to surpass their feelings. They don't have feelings in the narcissistic family. You're not allowed. You cannot be yourself. You cannot put your hair down and act silly. It won't work in the narcissistic family. Therefore, you have an identity crisis. You don't know who you are. You've never been able to explore that in your life. You learn to compartmentalize because of the abuse. You put it away in a different compartment, not to pull it out for a while, maybe revisit it later. They've always triangulated their children against each other, and they create a competition as well. They want chaos, they want drama in that family. It gives them fuel. It causes anxiety and depression in a child, not knowing where or what they're supposed to be doing. All they want to do is make them happy, which we know a narcissist can never be happy. They just can't. That's why they keep moving the goalposts. That's why they change the rules at any given point in their time. As an adult, the children grow up feeling depressed, with anxiety, deep emotions, feeling inadequate, and you have relationship issues. And that's because when you're growing up in that narcissistic family, you correlated, it's actually in your nervous system, you correlated that family as home, and home equals love. And you have to rewire your brain to get out of that. So a lot of times you go towards another toxic relationship because you're correlating that with home and love. But you can turn the trauma around, and you can make trauma into good. It just takes work and time. You'll also have a problem saying no as an adult. You have feelings of guilt and unrest. You tend to people please and apologize all the time, saying, I'm sorry, not trying to hurt somebody, because you're afraid of the punishment. That's how you're wired. You have a problem trusting yourself. It's that identity crisis. So healing is where you're going to shine. That wasn't your identity. It was your conditioning. It was your brain being programmed by your narcissistic parent.